Hello and welcome to today's episode of Farmwelding. Today we talk about hard facing. Hard facing in farming used to be very common. For a couple of years ago, farmers hard faced plows, plowshares, soil working implements, and everything. But nowadays, the parts of the plows and all that kind, plowshares, points, and so on, they're so cheap now. So the time and the effort to hard face them has almost completely gone away. But some farmers keep themselves also with rock crushers and big concrete mixes and stuff for fixing the buildings. And also excavate the buckets and so on. And here's where you have, when something is abrasive and it gets worn, then you have to do some hard facing. Hard facing is when you put on material that is meant to be harder than material of what you want to protect. Let's say, for instance, you want to protect a bucket. A bucket is usually made of light alloy or mild steel. And to get it to last longer, you have the points and the shears that is hardened steel. But to get more material from it, then you can put a couple of passes with a hard facing electrode. In this case, we have quite common 8350. It's good for buckets and so on. And there are a lot of manufacturers for hard facing electrodes. And then I mean a lot. But before you do any hard facing at all, you should know what you want to put on and what kind of material is in the steel that you're welding on. Because sometimes you have to make a buffet layer. And the buffet layer you can make with either 29.9 or a harder electrode, like let's say for instance the E-subs, I always forget the number, but I think it was 7350 that we used the last time. But the last years I've been sticking to 29.9 because it's so versatile. I can use it for dredges, I can use it for rock crushing cones and everything to make the buffet layer, and then fill up with hard face welding. Like for instance with this 8350. But it pays to, when you choose the hard facing electrode, to know, because some of them is better for abrasion, some of them is better for cold, and some is better for, let's say, hammering and knocking. So it depends on what you want to do. And almost every weld manufacturer has a guidebook or a guide template of what kind of rods that you use when you weld for what kind of material. And depending on what you want to do, it's quite good to read them, because hard facing electrodes like this, they are expensive. One box of this is a couple of thousand Swedish kronor, because I'm a Swedish gentleman, so I measure everything in kronor, and there's quite many kronor for one package. And depending on what kind of hard facing electrode is, the price varies. So the cheapest ones, they start at about 1,500 kronor per box, and the most expensive ones I have seen, at least, they are about 8,900 per box. So it depends on what you do. This one is the cheap one, about 1,400 for one of these boxes. But as I said before, it varies with the composition of the rod. Some rods are very expensive and some rods are not so expensive. And as I said before also, some points today and some plowshares, they're so cheap, so it's better just to change them. And also buckets. Some buckets are not worth repairing or even hard facing. But it's a matter of taste. Some people want to keep the old buckets running for as long as possible, and some change them. But as I said before, it depends from case to case what to use, when to use it. Also, if you do any hard facing and you want to weld something else to it later, you can be having problems with cracking. So think twice before you do it. Until next time, have a lovely day.